This incident occurred in Russia in 2017, when a police officer shot and killed a knife-wielding man, who had just run down a policeman and stabbed one of his colleagues. In the video footage, a car is seen plowing into an officer station next to a federal highway outside a police station. The impact flings the officer through the air over the car's roof, after which it crashes. Despite being under immense pressure, the cornered officer manages to reach for his weapon and shoot the suspect dead, reportedly after suffering a stab wound himself. In this situation, the officer needs to deal with the fact that a car just ran into his colleague. While trying to process that surrealistic event, things take another turn. He and another police officer rush over to the crashed car, and suddenly, the driver gets out of the crashed car carrying a knife and stabs the officer too. Now Officer 2 is being chased by a madman with a knife, and both men passing Officer 3 and leaving Officer 1 at the crash scene. Under high stress, the police officer needs to create distance and time to get to his firearm in the fight, while running for his life. Deploying a weapon in a high-stress situation can be extremely challenging, even for a trained police officer. The deployment gap, which refers to the time delay or difference between recognizing a threat and being able to respond effectively with a defensive action, can make the situation even more difficult. Then let's consider the specific knife attack pattern he is utilizing. I call this particular type of knife attack the bull-chasing knife attack. This is a tactical way of attacking in which the perpetrator targets multiple victims, chasing them down, in order to cause as much harm as possible. If you are being chased by an attacker, it is important to use the environment and distractions to your advantage. Rather than running in a straight line, try to switch routes and use obstacles or other distractions to create distance and potentially facilitate third-party intervention. Here you see a policeman enters the scene below. This acts like a magnet to the attacker and functions as a distraction. The use of a static shield and changing direction worked for him, with the distraction of the chaser helping. It's important to note that a rifle requires more room to aim compared to a gun or revolver. The officers were taken to the hospital, and while their injuries were described as serious, they were not thought to be life-threatening. The 20-year-old suspect died from his gunshot wounds, and his motives are unclear.